Tonight we're hearing from four voices in this debate. Don Shelters and John Buckley are fighting to protect the trees. They'll join me live in a moment. First, we took their concerns to the DEC and Audubon, which is managing the project. I want to start here with the DEC Deputy Commissioner for Natural Resources making the case to me today on why this will be a good thing for the environment at Zoar Valley.
The goal of this project is not to generate revenue from timber sales or from sales of anything that's harvested here. The goal is really to remove that timber as needed, specifically targeting regeneration of certain types of other species and to allow for that new forest habitat.
I also spoke today with the Senior Forest Program Manager for Audubon, who argued that this plan will improve bird habitats and also make the forest more able to weather the effects of climate change. Listen.
That our forests are able to kind of endure those stressors and remain as forests is the most important goal we're trying to do here. We're not trying to remove forest. We're just regrowing it in some parts of the demonstration site to, again, increase forest age class diversity and increase overall tree species and shrub and herbaceous plant diversity as well. We do understand the concerns around cutting trees and climate, but there's a lot of great science out there to support the need to diversify our forests in light of climate change. And we feel this project will be a great example in doing that. And we're excited to show the results with, again, a variety of audiences.
The reference there is to public meetings that she and the DEC Deputy Commissioner both told me will happen later this year to inform everybody about this plan. As you'd imagine, it is coming with plenty of controversy. Joining me live now are the aforementioned members of the group Friends of Zoar Valley, Don Shelters and John Buckley. Thanks to both of you for coming up. We really appreciate it. I want to just start, Don, with you and your reaction to what the DEC Commissioner, Deputy Commissioner said there and Audubon and why you think this is just a bad idea.
40 years ago, I was a raft guide. I'm a raft guide in Zoar Valley, and 40 years ago there was one eagle, and now there's probably 20 or 30. The eagles need those trees. All of the large birds that live there now need those trees. The old growth forest down below needs those trees. They're cutting right up to almost to where the multiple use areas are the
unique area,
area,
which is exempt from this.
Right, and they're saying that the diversity is going to get better, and they even state in the article in the newspaper that an old growth forest is more diverse than any other forest, so why are we cutting this out? It doesn't make any sense. And one other thing is the county and the DEC are clear cutting a lot of our forests down in the southern tier and all over the county. So people should know this. It's not right.
We were showing some images when you were talking there because some of the trees, John, are already marked. You saw what orange or red spray paint. Although we're being told that this is not a done deal yet, right? It still needs final approval. What would be your reaction to what we heard from there? And I guess how do you plan to sort of fight this?
Well, first of all, they said that they just stated that it's not for the revenue of these large trees. But when we went in there to see the marked trees, all the black walnut, the black cherry, the high income wood was marked. And these old pines, there's 100 acres of pines, which is a monoculture, none of them were marked. So they're in there not to create habitat, they're there to milk the money out of that forest. And they said that they're going to auction off the wood to the highest bidder. So we want to let people know that this is not to create they're saying it's to create bird habitat, but a friend of mine, Native American, said, gee, I wonder how all these birds survived before the Europeans came to this land. I mean, for millions of years, birds have existed in natural settings.
Without needing to go
without
in
us
and
coming in and
forest.
Clear cutting down 100 acres. If they want to create bird habitat, go into a place that's already been cut down. Go into an open field. Grow your trees or whatever bird habitat you want. There's plenty of open fields. You don't have to cut down another 100 acres of beautiful 100-year-old trees. They've been said by experts it's between 100 and 120 years old, this forest. and they just want to clear cut it.
Let me real fast, and then I'll get back to you. I want to play a little bit more of what the DEC Deputy Commissioner told me today in terms of the public input and educating everyone about this. Listen to that.
We are also planning this summer to engage some key stakeholders to bring them out to the site to show folks really on the ground what we're planning to do. And then later in the fall, to have a public meeting so that we can better inform everybody in the local community about the work that's going to be going on. So that's all being planned right now. I think that type of communication is going to be really important so that everybody can see exactly what we're doing, why, and when. So
Don, how important, I guess, is it that at least you get that public input, and how involved do you plan to be when the DEC comes to town and lays this out?
We need to take our power back. They planted plantations, and in that Zoar Valley area, there's a plantation. It's pine trees. They planted it to harvest. Why are they not harvesting that instead of going after all the big dollar hardwoods?
Finally, John, let me ask you about Zoar Valley, sort of bigger picture, because it is, I mean, for those of us who have been there, and if you've never been there, it is really something to check out. It's amazing hiking, the water sports, the just enjoying the natural beauty. The DEC, to its credit, has done improvements to safety in recent years. What would be your message to the DEC now as they look at this plan?
The man who donated that land to the state, Herbert Darling, said he wanted just to keep it completely natural, completely wild. He wanted people to leave nothing but footprints, take nothing out of there. He wanted it to be forever wild, and he donated that land. And it's been designated a unique area, which means, and the reason why there's old growth forest in there, some of the only old growth forest in this area, is because the loggers can't get down in there. Of course, maybe now they can with the new machinery, but they just want to get down there and harvest these big, beautiful, like 200, 300-year-old trees. On this land, like I said, the trees are between 100 and 120 years old, and there's plenty of open land. If they want to create more bird habitat, create bird habitat on some empty land. Don't cut down another 100 acres of 100-year-old trees.
Well, certainly more to come on this. We really appreciate both of you coming in, Don and John, with Friends of Zoar Valley. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.